Welcome to Sooth Sisters Lovely. We are so excited that you're joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited as well.
And today the day is Friday the 13th, and 13 being a very special number for both of us, it is a very auspicious day for us. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I find it very fancy. I've always been, yeah, I don't know, for some reason I find it fancy. That's the word I always get. And I don't know why people are scared and there's so much negativity around it, but I have always been somebody who would look for things which sound and feel different. So I love it. And I actually, when we scheduled this meeting, I didn't notice back then, but then yesterday it clicked and I was like, oh, wow, nice, Friday the 13th. So I'm
I
excited.
already can feel like the goosebumps and the chills in the air. This conversation is going to be so exciting, and we just can't wait to deep dive into today's conversation. So let's just begin.
Hmm. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's start with a question that everybody wonders, but rarely asks in the open. I would like to ask you, Lovely, as a psychic medium, what happens after we die?
So it's basically going back to the basics. It's like where we all began. As soon as a soul leaves a body, a physical body, it goes back to source where we all came from. You could call it source, you could call it God, light. There's so many meanings to it. It would depend on the conditioning or the religion or the teachings that all of us follow or you follow. So basically, it is just going back to pure light and pure energy. That's where our soul goes.
Okay, that is really interesting to know. Going back to pure light, I think that's a comforting notion for people to hear, that there is good at the end of this, right?
Yes. And unlike, the notion that we all have, or, a lot of us have been taught that if you have done something wrong, if you have bad karma, you won't go to heaven, or you might be going to hell, or you will be punished and all of that. The teachings that my spirit guides, my spiritual journey has given me is like we all go to the light. There is no, because it's all unconditional love. There's no judgment in the afterlife. There's no judgment in the spirit world. Yes, it could be triggering to think that even people who have done sins, for the lack of a better word, but yeah, that's how it is. That's how the laws of attraction or the laws of the universe work. Everything goes back to pure light energy.
Beautiful. So another thing that comes to mind, is death an instant transition, or is there like a process that a soul goes through? Could you walk us through the process of it?
Yeah, sure. I would love to. Mostly, it is an instant. It's a very. It doesn't. As long as far as I've been taught by my guides, I don't think there is like a huge process. But yes, there is something called a life review. Um, but I would like to clarify. It doesn't work how we are taught, like there are stages, and initially 3 days the spirit would hang out around the family, and you shouldn't be trying to reach out to them until there is, like, you should wait for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, because these things don't exist. The timeline don't exist, because there's no time in the spirit world. It's an illusion. It's a human concept. We think like, it's just been 2 days or it's 1 year. We celebrate anniversaries because that's how we've been conditioned, and it's okay if it works for you. It's all right, as long as it doesn't matter how you are grieving, whatever helps you. But for a soul, as soon as it comes, as soon as it comes, it is pure energy, and there could be shock or um, fear involved in certain cases, but mostly as soon as your loved ones in the afterlife welcome you into the spirit world, it's all taken care of, and it's quite quick, if you have to talk in terms of time. So yeah, there are stages, but I don't think it is exactly how we take it in human terms. But yes, there is a life review, if you wonder.
that you go back to source, you go back to life, light. Is it like a coming home
Yes.
party, like after you transition?
Absolutely. I had seen, I don't know if it was a meme or a reel. It was like this, it was a lady, it was like almost like a painting hugging an angelic being. Homecoming was the caption, and it touched my heart and I had goosebumps because that's exactly what every soul makes me feel they felt when they reached home. We as family, we are in this sense of loss and pain and all of that, but for a soul it's absolutely, it's a party, it's homecoming. They all have so many people to welcome them, and it's so much love, and there's so much understanding. Everything starts making sense and there's no confusion, there's no uncertainty. All those emotions, all those deep negative confusing emotions we feel here, there's nothing. It's like relief.
So contrary
Yeah.
to the popular opinion that a soul went suffering या कुछ उसके साथ ऐसा हुआ, like it was a tragic death, that does not exist when you go back into the soul world.
Absolutely. Because see, when we talk like that, okay, tragic death thi ya trauma tha, ho sakta hai, but that and all is for the physical body because we see in terms of blood or flesh, sorry. But yes, those are the terms sometimes, involved in trauma and all of that. Yes, those are very heavy energies, but that is all when we talk about the physical body. The soul doesn't feel any pain. It's very quick. I've had like numerous readings, like thousands of them by now. I've never had a single soul come and tell me, oh, it was difficult. The crossing over was pathetic. I had to struggle to reach, or it was painful. And that's most, in most cases, that's the first message they want to share it to the family, because then there are cases where the death, the way they passed could be tragic, but that's the first message they would have to share to the family, so that the family knows, no, there was no pain involved, in the afterlife, or the shock was also taken care of. So yeah, it is just it is all um it stems from partial knowledge about the spirit world, because basically to upar jaake hi pata chalega, upar bol lo ya whatever you can name it. So half knowledge is like quite dangerous.
As intriguing and as comforting that is to know that there's a party going on and there's and how that you have been connecting to souls and you get information through them. As intriguing that concept is, we just heard you use this term called life review. Could you let us know what is exactly this life review?
So it's basically like a movie being played in front of you as soon as you reach the afterlife. And when I say reach the afterlife, it's not necessarily a place. It's mostly in energy. So you can talk in terms of frequency, not even dimensions. It's just frequency. You are in a higher frequency, and it's almost like a movie. Um, it is like 10 times a Yash Raj movie. Every feeling, every emotion would be pronounced. And, every thought that you had thought in that life, every life that you changed in a good or a bad way, you impacted whatever. It's basically you knowing, oh, this is why I was there in that. So for example, if that's me, so I would know, oh, that's why I was lovely, and that's why I had so much pain, and these were the lessons. And everything in a movie, although it would be long, as in it would show you your lifetime, but again, that is also quick. It's like in flashes. But yeah, that's basically the life review. I hope I made sense.
Absolutely. So, the way you described it, it seems like कि आप एक cinema में बैठे हैं and 360 आपके आसपास सब कुछ घूम रहा है and you're just watching flashes of life in front of you कि this is what happened. So it's actually sounds interesting, very interesting.
Yes, and it's more than that. Like how जो वो 5D experiences होते हैं ना, कि आपको if there is rain you can also sense it. It's like that. It's actually very similar to what I experience in a reading, because if a soul tells me they had a heart attack, I would immediately feel it in my chest. I would choke, or that could be they trying to speak something, or they literally choking onto something. So life review is also like that. The soul experiences it although they don't have a physical body then, but it is more like just more than just watching. It is sensing and absorbing everything that particular lifetime had in store.
Wow, that's really interesting. Also, interestingly, Lovely, you mentioned about hell and heaven. So, growing up, हमें ऐसा बोला जाता था. I think it was for everybody.
And
क्या
even still now.
till now कि अगर तुम ऐसा करोगे तुम you'll go to hell, अगर तुम वैसा करोगे तुम्हें you'll go to heaven. So what according to you, as and also in your readings, does the concept of heaven and hell, does it actually exist?
So if you ask me, does it exist? I would say yes, but it's not up there. It is right here. The hell and the heaven and the karma and the punishment or the good things, everything is here. It is all in the physical. It's not that if you do bad here, you go up there somewhere and then you are getting punished. No, it is. And then we come to the word karma. Karma exists, but it is a little tricky. That's why, I resonate a lot with the teachings of Bashar because he explains it very nicely. Darul Anka, I think that was the reel that I had shared that you guys saw me in, because that's where he shares. Yes, yeah. So that's how we met. Um, there, Daryl Anka is explaining it's all law of attraction. So everything, every thought that you think, good or bad, it is impacted in a way. You would experience the mirroring of it or the effect or the consequence of it in this particular lifetime. And sometimes you also carry it to other lifetimes because it could be really heavy, or your maybe physical body or your mental body or emotional body couldn't make sense of it or clear it fully, so you carry it. But again, there's no punishment happening. This whole concept came, you should do good. That makes sense, but how it is taught to children or to people general is using fear, and that is not okay, because spirit or the universe is all about love. So we should be taught that, the more love you give, the more love you get. But again, people are not that creative, so it आसान है ना बोलना कि नहीं नहीं ऐसा करोगे तो कुछ बुरा होगा and all of that. So yeah,
So safe to say we create our own hell or heaven.
absolutely. And trust me, I get very emotional at that phrase of yours, because when my mother passed, the only consolation I had in my head, or I made peace with that fact, with the fact that okay, she's no more there. I can no more hug her or pinch her or tease her or get her food. The only consolation was that okay, those things in your head, the demons in your head, no more there. Because the hell that we create in our heads, that's the worst to be. आपको ऊपर जाने की क्या जरूरत है? There is so much happening right here. कम है क्या?
That's really interesting. I mean, everything, like you said, hell and heaven are here. So, keeping that in mind, do you think that every soul has a similar experience in the afterlife, or would it vary soul to soul? Like how you said, the end goal is to reach the pure light, but does it still vary for anyone?
It varies to a certain extent. Mainly it depends, and it is not about the soul. It is about that particular lifetime. Like one soul. So, for instance, Nanki's soul might go through numerous lifetimes. It could be an insect, it could be an elephant, it could be a human, it could be Nanki. One lifetime, whatever conditioning you are given. So for example, you had, you were brought up a Catholic Christian, and you had this very serious upbringing that this is how the afterlife life looks, and you might go there and there would be darkness, or however, nothing against Christianity, but yeah, that's what I'm telling. Basically, the teachings come from our religion, or how our parents teach us, right? Growing up. So that would change or alter the particular experience she has right after she leaves the physical world. But as soon as she reaches there, everything would start making sense, because you have your family welcoming you and their source energy and everything, and there is no bifurcation, there is no difference. You would immediately be hit with that concept of oneness, ओ माई गॉड, आई एम नो लेस देन गॉड, आई एम गॉड। आज जो हम बोलते हैं कि हमारे अंदर भगवान है, बच्चों में भगवान है, प्लांट्स में भगवान है, बोलते हैं, बट वी डू वी एक्चुअली बिलीव दैट? नो, we still think we are small, we still have our insecurities, we still think, oh no, we are powerless. And then we try one day, no, no, I am powerful. But that whole uncertainty, or that, the low confidence or anything, the fear that comes is because we think we are separate from another individual, and we are separate from God or source. So as soon as those things make sense, वो समझ आ जाता है कि okay, this is all one, we are all light. बट हाँ, जो a particular lifetime as soon as you reach, आपकी कंडीशनिंग पे निर्भर करेगा कि what experience you have, whether you see light or whether you are very happy to be here. Oh, I'm here. Yeah, that would be a very tiny difference, but more or less it's the same process.
Interesting. In each episode, हम ना कोई ऐसा phrase उठाते हैं. Even the guest resonates with it, and we always say that let's put this on a mug. So for this episode, I think the mug line should be, "We create our own hell or heaven." That will go on the mug from this episode.
So far.
Yeah. And imagine how much it is good and bad, right? When you say that, it as soon as you say that in your head, it gives you so much power that okay, you create, so you also have an option of not creating a hell, right? And but it is also bringing accountability to you, that you have the key, you can run away, or all of those things. Yeah.
So lovely. So far, this conversation is so exciting. And before we dive deeper into the spirit world, could you explain for our listeners what exactly is a psychic medium?
Yeah, sure. So, psychic medium is basically a person who uses his or her psychic abilities to talk to the spirit world. And it is actually made of two words, that is psychic and a medium. They can be two different people, or one person can have both the abilities. So, basically, a medium is somebody who is in the middle. It is between a human, a physical human, and a loved one in spirit, or an angel, or a spirit guide. And yes, a medium uses psychic abilities like clairvoyance or clairaudience or auto writing, or so on and so forth. At the same time, just the word psychic means again a person who uses psychic ability, but they need not necessarily be a medium. That is, they do not need to be working exactly with the spirit. They just use their psychic abilities to look into future, or they remote view into a particular place, an ocean or something, talking about war and all of those things. They can do that. But when we say, so all psychics need not be mediums, but yes, all mediums are psychics. Or I hope I didn't confuse you. They both use psychic abilities, but when we say psychic, they need not necessarily be working with just spirits. So if you talk about me, I am a psychic medium. That means in a session that I do with a client of mine, I can reach out to their loved ones in spirit, angels and guides, but then I can also have my own psychic knowing regarding an event that is going to happen in the future, or something that happened in the past. So I hope that's not too confusing.
Interesting. And what is like a when you're doing like a reading, what does that experience look for you? Like, can you hear the spirit world, or can you see the spirit world? Like, what does it look like for you?
So it is all of it. It's a combination of all of those senses. So my strongest sense would be I have three, I should say: clairvoyance, clairaudience, and claircognizance, which means clear seeing, clear hearing, and clear knowing. So, and also clear sentience. And I'll explain all of it. Basically, I can see things given to me by spirit. It could be in a form of a visual, a photo, a movie playing in my head, and I can also hear them. It is not exactly like how you are hearing my voice right now. It is not always outside of me, it's mostly in my head, but I can differentiate between that particular voice and my own thoughts. And I also have a sense of knowing, which is claircognizance, which is not my knowing, it is given to me by spirit. And that was one psychic ability that took me long to trust, because I just had this knowing and there was no evidence and I couldn't make sense of it. Sometimes even I wouldn't have a question that was put to me. I would just, and that's where a lot of people, you might have heard this term, I had this download in the morning. That's where psychics always use. So that's just you can call it like an idea, something that you slept on an issue and morning you just woke up. That could be your spirit guide giving you the download. So that's just a clear knowing, but you do not know where it is coming from. So those three senses, those three abilities, and I also sense their energy. So, for example, if a person asks about their mother who's going through some ailment or a medical issue, I would immediately feel something in my belly, and I would ask, is she going through something in her gut? So it's basically spirit trying to help me exactly understand where the issue is. So I can also sense their energy, and also it is outside of me sometimes. Like I can sense if there is a spirit standing next to me, or I might sometimes look here and there. I don't see spirit, as in clairvoyance can also be people seeing spirits right in front of them. I want to do that, but I don't know, maybe spirit thinks we don't want to spook her. I tell them I'm ready, but I don't know what are they waiting for. But anyway, I've seen things, from the corner of my eyes, but I right now I see mostly it in on my in my third eye or in my head. So yeah, those are the ways they give me information, and trust me, it is very beautiful. Again, it's like a 5D movie, and sometimes they would give things in writing as well. And I always I was telling this to my sister today morning, because yesterday I had a beautiful session with somebody, and there was an uncle, there was a lady from China. She lives in America. She wanted to connect with someone. I did not know it was an uncle that she wanted to, it was mother's brother. And the way the uncle was teasing her, he kept on saying, you look like her, you look like me. And he would do these gestures. And I was like, oh, he makes me feel you look like him. And she started sobbing, because as a child, that's how he used to tease her. And she hated it when he would say no, and so this is how they explain things to me, and I translate it into simpler terms for the sitter in front of me, and yeah, I share it with them.
This is so interesting and so intriguing, but I can't, wonder and ask you this question. When you started this journey, like, how was it? How, did you always have these abilities, or did something happen that initiated these gifts in you? And as you said that you can't really see the spirits yet because you think that your spirit guides think that it might spook you, but does it like spook you, or did it spook you in the first time that this thing happened with you? Like, could you just share your experience?
Absolutely, I would love to. So I always tell people, if you ask, how it started with me, as a child, I always wished, suddenly one day I would wake up and I would be gifted with this magic. And this is when I'm a little girl. Suddenly I could touch everything and sense what I had these stories, and I would love movies on these things. um, there was a series. I don't know if you guys with you would remember. There was something called Chota Chetan or something. It was magical, something similar to a genie. And I always wished, I had a friend like that, like an imaginary friend. But I was not a child who was gifted, in the sense I never had a paranormal experience. I wanted to. I constantly asked. And with me and other people, there's only one difference. People ask me, are you not scared? I am scared. I'm still very scared of the dark, because I know I can sense other things. But the only difference between me and the other person who is scared is that fear won't keep me from crossing a corridor. I would still go ahead with that fear. So I've sort of embraced that fear. as compared to somebody who is fearful and would not take that leap of faith. So it didn't start with an event for me. It's just started with curiosity. And I wanted to know what's more out there, just like a curious kid, why things are the way they are. And until there was internet, I would look into things. And I don't know how somebody taught me, or I heard it somewhere, how to play with a Ouija board. That's how I actually began interacting with spirit. And that was the most fun thing, because we would ask, who would win the World Cup and things like that. And thanks to all the power failures, we didn't have the inverters or all of those things. So we would all sit in a circle, in the dark with a candle lit in front of us. So that's how it all began. And later on, I started browsing and I learned automatic writing. And later on, other gifts came to me. So anybody can do it. That's something that I always tell people. It can be learned.
Your story seems very relatable to me because growing up, how you would, as a kid, you would have multiple journal entries. And one entry which was always there in my diary was, "Oh, please God, gift me with that Aladdin's chirag." I would always wish for that. That was my childhood wish. And, it took quite a while for me to understand that, well, there's a different kind of magic in the world, which we're still trying to figure out. But that was something that I connected to as well.
But Ouija boards, we also
Yeah.
have that.
Ouija boards was amazing. That was we still don't know if it was one of our friends who would be moving in or was it actual spirit. That has not been unfolded. But that was also a part of our childhood.
Yes, but it was fun, right? Like how my spirit guides say, whatever works, doesn't matter who was moving. If it was fun, why not?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. We are here for the fun.
Yes.
And like you said, Lovely, sometimes when you're crossing a dark path, you still have fear, but you don't let that fear overcome you. Keeping that concept in mind, do negative spirits or negative energies also exist, like how we've always been told of? There's a negative aspect to spirit related.
If you want to know, if you ask me, does it exist? I would say yes. But I also, so like they say, if there is light, there is darkness. If there is magic, there can be black magic. Or if you want to know if there are, good spirits and angels, there can be negative entities. But I have always been taught by my spirit guides again that it is all what you focus on. From this beginning of my journey, when I started doing, I had this. It was almost like a unsaid intention that I had set in my mind. That although I would love watching all those series, The Haunting and Ghostbusters and all of those things. Yeah, I was fascinated, but I knew I am not a Ghostbuster. I'm here to heal. So I have never had a negative impact or an experience in my life. So yeah, it is all what you focus on and how much energy or power you give to something. Everything that you focus increases and improves. So it works both ways, right? Good and bad.
True, true. Now that we'll keep in mind, you've still got to keep your focus. डरने वाली कोई बात नहीं है, dear audience.
I mean, we've been brought up with so much fear. हम इतना like growing up, and we have so much unlearning to do that हर चीज में हमें डराया गया है. So much fear mongering in everything.
Spirit was always related to both. There was no positive aspect of spirit. This is what we've learned when we grew up. But while we were growing up, spirit was just associated with both, and that in a negative way.
Yes. एंड मतलब भूत और गोस्ट द होल कॉन्सेप्ट ही बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है लोगों के लिए. एंड बेसिकली ये फेयर वाली बात वहां पे आती है जहां पे आपके पास कोई जवाब नहीं है तो कह दो कि बेटा मतलब वहां मत जाओ, या ये सवाल नहीं करते, या रात को ये बात मत करो, बिकॉज आपको शायद पता नहीं है आंसर. कोई बात नहीं, मुझे बता दो, नहीं पता मुझे. बट it's easier to tell to a child, and especially when it is a child, and it is not even bhoot ya ghost na, like the whole concept of feeding children saying ke buddha baba aa jayega, yeah, that is so, I mean, why would you do that to a child? क्यों भाई? एक तो मुझे पता नहीं है कि कौन है ये, who is this entity जो वेट कर रहा है मेरा. you know, and it's like as soon as the light goes, so it actually, a child is never born with fear. Yes, he or she might have received from their parents, which is passed on through the womb or the experiences that the mother has. But most of it is taught to us. Every kind of fear. If you put a baby in water, it would struggle to swim, but it would not be like, don't do this to me, because it doesn't know, as compared to an adult who has water phobia. So same applies to spirit. And also, India में इतना ज़्यादा religious वो है, our dogmas are quite strict. So जहाँ पे वो आता है, I'm not somebody who follows a certain religion, but मुझे थोड़ा सा वो मेरी, that is the issue that I have with what do you call it, religion which is very strongly taught, organized religion that we call, कि वहाँ पे then there is fear कि आपने अगर ऐसी चीजें शनिवार के दिन या रविवार के दिन ये ऐसा 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 नहीं किया तो कुछ गलत हो जाएगा, या those things just don't work because ऐसा नहीं होता है. It is all the belief that you have, and the more that you believe, the more it happens.
These are the stereotypes that we wish to break with Sooth Sisters.
Absolutely. Take what resonates and
Yeah.
leave what does not.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this, actually, because we need a lot of it. I struggled with this. And last time we spoke, I mean, we were talking about that also. Spirituality में भी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो बहुत confuse करती हैं, जो बहुत ज़्यादा fear mongering है. Whether it is about tarot reading, whether it is about psychic mediums, that if you don't follow a certain guidance that I gave, it won't work for you. Or, again, that is taking power away from a person, which is not how source would want, right?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Born from dust, return to dust.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are all basically stardust. And that's so fascinating to think.
Okay, lovely. Moving on. I have a question. I think that's not only in my mind or on my mind. I think ये question बहुत लोगों के mind पे होता है. I would really like to ask you from a psychic medium's point of view. What do you mean by reincarnation or rebirth? Like we've been hearing this concept about reincarnation, rebirth. What does that actually mean?
So it's basically, rebirth is basically a choice that is given to a spirit, a soul.